Okay, so we're going to make
cookies.
Which is a Betty Crocker original chocolate chip cookie recipe. However, we're out of chocolate chips. So they're going to be plain, but just as good. So the first thing we need is 1 cup of granulated sugar. That's you.
Okay.
Okay, 1 cup of granulated sugar.
Okay, so we have just a half a cup, so we're gonna use 2. Boom.
Okay, and now we need 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Okay.
Second cup.
Second half a cup. So 1
Second
cup of
half a cup.
granulated sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar. Now we need 2 eggs. Okay. First egg. 1.
I gotta put this away. And 2.
2. Perfect. Okay, and this recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup of shortening and 2/3 of a cup of butter. But we found if we put in the whole amount of shortening, it actually doesn't work out as well because we're doing a gluten-free version. I'm not sure if the regular flour, it would be a little bit different because it's been so long since we baked with regular flour. So we're just going to put in 1/3 of shortening and 2/3 of a cup of butter. Okay, so while we're waiting for the butter to melt, we have put 2/3 of a cup in the pan. We're going to do a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking soda. And now we need a teaspoon of vanilla, which we do not have, but that's okay as we did this last time and they still turned out okay. And we need 2.5 to 3 cups of flour. We're gonna use, again, the gluten-free flour, so we're gonna grab that now. So usually we use this one and we find it works best. It's the PC, it's gonna be reversed for these guys, but PC, all-purpose flour, it's gluten-free. However, since we only have this much left, we're going to use Bob's Red Mills instead, and it should work out just as good. So again, 2.5 cups we're gonna go for, maybe 3 cups, we'll see. Okay, so we mixed in a cup of the flour, but now we're gonna add the melted butter. There, okay. Okay, that's not quite half a cup. We're gonna mix it up, show you what the consistency is, and then we'll see whether we are going to add more or not. Okay, so this is what the dough looks like. It's pretty thick, but because we're using gluten-free and we know how the shortening works with our gluten-free flour, sometimes we're gonna add a little bit extra, so dump it on in. Then we're gonna mix it up, put it on the cookie sheets. We've got them lined with parchment paper, and we're gonna cook them for about 6 to maybe 10 minutes. Depends how big we make them. Okay, we're gonna put them on the tray, show you what they look like, and try the first batch because sometimes they don't work out perfectly. And if they don't, we're gonna add more flour. Okay, so we've got them on the trays. Now we're gonna put them in the oven and see, I don't know if you can see these, we tried to shape them like hearts, and we'll see how they work out. Okay, baking in progress. Our hearts have melted into puddles. And so have the other cookies. So we're gonna see if they rise, and we may be adding more flour. So we just realized, I don't know if we mentioned the temperature, but they're gonna be cooked at 375. We had the oven at 350, 375, and we may be adding more flour. Okay, so this is round 1. Obviously, they were a little runny. Hopefully they taste all right. Doesn't seem to be a problem in this house. However, we are going to add some more flour and see if we can puff them up a bit. We're not sure. She doesn't know if she wants more flour or not. So they're chewy. They're not bad. I think Bob's flour was the problem. The PC one rose up. They were puffier, same amount of flour.
They're still good.
We may make them puffier, we may not. Anyway, cookies baked. Round 2. The second batch is in the oven. We're not a fan, Bob. Bob's Red Mills is made with bean flours, garbanzo bean, potato starch, tapioca, whole grain, sorghum, and fava bean flour. And it's not as light. The PC one is made with the rice flour and tapioca starch, and it works way better. Overall, the cookies aren't bad. We did put cinnamon sugar on them to make them taste like snickerdoodles because we're not as crazy about the Bob's Mill flour. Oh well. We'll try again soon. Bye.
Bye.